Welcome to Working for Progress, a podcast that connects us through conversations about how we craft our working lives and make progress. Through open and thoughtful conversations, our podcast starts with simple pleasures, finishes in awe, and meanders through career journeys in between. This podcast is rooted in Tribe Porty, a community co-working space and creative hub filled with entrepreneurs, freelancers, charities, social enterprises, and SMEs. We believe in the power of connection, sharing stories that inspire, challenge, and celebrate the many ways we shape our working lives. Join us as we dive into the realities of work, purpose, and progress, one conversation at a time. Julie Cluley is a dog behaviour coach. Her new book, Beyond Dog Training, Barking Mad to Calm and Quiet, allows readers to make their own changes and create remarkable results. When not working, Julie loves sea swimming and dancing in the park. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you.
We're going to start out nice and easy with your 5 simple pleasures.
5 simple pleasures. So, what would they be? They would have to be connecting with my friends. That's got to be up there as a big one. Swimming in the sea is a big one. And the sauna these days. Sneak that one in. Dancing in the park. What else do I do just for funsies? Glass of wine on a Friday night, is that allowed?
Of course it is. It's all allowed, isn't it?
And reading trashy novels. Guilty pleasure.
That is a guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
That is 5. Latest trashy novel?
Oh God, it's something about a chateau in France.
Nice.
Trashy.
Those are all very body ones, aren't they? Is that to get out of your mind?
Yes, probably. Yes.
Interesting. Thinking about your work, or not your work, maybe just who you are, do you have kind of 3 top values or your top values that you live by?
Yes, probably. It probably is mostly connected to work, but because I'm self-employed, it's kind of all the same things. So I would say it would have to be freedom, and by that I mean like to do what I want when I want. So that's a big one that I didn't realize was such a big thing for me until the last few years. So freedom, connection, again, that's definitely really, really important, and having the time to make connections with people through work, through, like family, friends, that kind of thing. But yeah, connection. And I guess the income to be able to have the freedoms that I want to do, the things I want to do, traveling, and that's kind of up there.
I find it really interesting, the freedom bit, because I am the same. Even though having your own business doesn't necessarily mean you have more time, because you spend a lot of time in your work, but there is a different sense of freedom. And what were you doing before to not have that freedom, or has it just been important to you for your whole life?
Yeah, it has been important to me to my whole life, but I haven't known that, and I certainly haven't embodied that. So I worked in events, in event management, until my early 30s.
Okay. When
I started working as a dog walker and dog boarder, and then quite quickly, within a year or so, got into dog behaviour. But I would say the first at least 10, 12 years as a dog behaviourist, I did have the freedoms if you looked at it, but in my head I didn't have the freedoms. It was only when I was completely burnt out and that shifted it all for me in my head and allowed me to have freedom in my mind.
So it's almost a mindset, that sense of freedom, you think?
Yeah, for me it's not even a mindset, it's like I don't know how I would describe it, like it's seeing that I can do what I want when I want, and it's only me that's putting the limitations on. It's always me that's putting the limitations on.
Permission for yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's so true. We get in our own way all the time.
Yes.
But then I guess if you've worked in an environment where your time is monitored and regulated and dictated to, then it's really hard to unpack that and then realize actually you can make up your schedule. You can start at 8, you can start at 11, you can work 4 days, you can work 3, you could work 6. Maybe that doesn't feel bad to work 6 days if you've chosen that, whereas if you were made to work 6 days, it would feel very, very different.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even deeper than that is like, you know, when right back to when you're at school.
Yeah, true.
Do you know, your schooling and your parents and the kind of unconscious conditioned beliefs around what work is, what it means to work, which, you know, kind of, for a long time messed with my head. And I felt guilty if I wasn't even sitting at a desk. Like, even that. Yeah. Like, for ages, it was like, well, if I'm not sitting at my desk, I'm not working. Like, where the heck did that come from?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's true. It's so interesting, though, that we have these restraints on ourselves. I mean, I've watched people in offices sit at their desks or sit at home, but you know, where you have like the system where you could tell if you're online.
Oh yeah.
You know, before COVID.
Oh my God.
And people wouldn't do anything, but they felt like they were working if they were sitting at the computer and to make sure it didn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
I find that ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. And still, if I talk to my dad, who he would say himself was a workaholic. You know, the idea of even just the jump to work from home is like, well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How can anybody work from home? And I'm like, what? We have come a long way, which is really, which is amazing.
Yeah, I think COVID, that was one of kind of COVID's gifts,
yes,
if you can call it that. But that kind of burn it down to we have to figure things out in a different way because the world isn't the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
And part of that is working from home, or what work can look like. And all the stats that show that actually many people are more productive when they're not made to come into the office 5 days a week.
100%. I am definitely more productive when I give myself. So mine isn't even anybody else. Like, for years, I haven't had anybody else actually telling me what to do.
Yeah.
But I've had the voices.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
And they take different forms depending on what the thing is.
Yeah.
And it's just getting the insight or the confidence even to just ignore them, basically.
Yeah.
And just carry on doing my own thing. Because when I do my own thing, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
That's when I love my job. That's when...
And you're best at it at those moments.
Exactly. That's when I'm best at it. When I'm doing the things I really want to do and not the stuff that I don't really want to do.
So tell me what your kind of normal day looks like, if there is such a thing in your work. Or tell me what you do, like in general, and then tell me what your normal day looks like.
Okay. So what do I do? So I would call myself either a dog behaviour coach or a professional dog listener would be my two, I guess, what you would call me. So I have 3 things, I guess, on the go at the moment. One is finishing up my book. One is setting up a school for professional dog listeners. And the other one that I've been doing for a good few years now is Peaceful Paws, which is an online program where I help people with their own dogs, their pet dogs.
Yeah.
Any kind of issues, tends to be aggression, reactivity, excessive barking, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And that's a lifetime. So when people are in, they're in, and we meet every week, unless I'm traveling. Even then, sometimes we can still meet, which is great, given the Zoom thing. Yeah. And so my days look like a mixture of writing the book, or at the moment I'm formatting said book, which is interesting because I have no idea what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it will happen. So the book, and then the setting up the school is with 2 colleagues. So like, for example, yesterday we met to go through we've moved on to level 2, and we're just working on what that's going to look like. So I would maybe meet with them and do that. And then for Peaceful Paws, we meet on a Friday lunchtime, and that's like an hour on Zoom, and in between times is kind of, I guess, sharing with people. That's what I do, and if they want some help in those areas, you know, they either want to become a professional dog listener or they need some help with their dog, then that's how I would help them.
Do you work more with people working with dogs or more directly with owners, or a bit of both?
Definitely a bit of both. Interesting question. So up until 5 months ago, all with people with their dogs.
Okay.
So yeah, directly with people with their dogs. And then since we all decided to set up the school, I spend quite a lot of time. It's probably, I don't know if it's 50-50, but yeah, it's divided.
How long is there like a methodology that you're using, or how long have you been in this kind of behavioralist role? Yeah.
So I've been doing it for not far off 20 years now.
I thought it was a long time.
Yeah. The dog listening approach, what it's called, all my work is based around that, which I learned back in 2006. So it's all based around that. My Peaceful Paws is a sort of combination of the dog listening approach and the 3 principles coaching that I do. Oh yeah, I forgot to say about that. I do that as well.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of in my day too. So I've kind of combined both of those just because I see that most of the issues with the dogs, well in fact 99% of the issues with the dogs, is down to a miscommunication between the human and the dog.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my work is helping them, the owner, with a new language that their dog will understand. So my Peaceful Paws framework is a combination of that.
And is that behavioural science?
Yeah, it's all based on behavioural science.
Yeah.
I would say it's based on the understanding that the dog sees you as part of the team rather than dog and human in 2 separate teams.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one controlling the other, dog owner.
So not person-centered, dog-centered approach to...
Yes, yes. Dog-centered or mutual. It's like you're both in the same team.
Yeah.
Whereas we see generally, even our language, if you think about it, we own a dog. Like what's that all about? So we own a dog, so then we feel responsible for the dog. Then we feel like we have to do something with this dog.
Yeah.
Whereas the dog sees that you're all on the same team, and once you can start communicating within that team, then it's much.
And the team being the family and everybody that's in the dog's life.
Yes,
regularly.
Exactly. And the team being whoever's in the team in that moment.
Okay.
So say you have a dog and you have, husband and 2 kids, like that's the core team. But if your dog was to come and stay with me for 2 weeks,
can she?
I would be I would be the team in that moment.
Sure.
So that's why we can rescue dogs, because they live so much in the present moment. So they can shift.
Yeah.
Because they're just present to whatever's happening.
And do you psychoanalyze the owners quite often? No, you don't have to answer that.
Yes and no.
I always ask kind of up into this point, what is the kind of most random or worst job you ever had, and has that impacted what you do now in any way?
Probably, I wonder if it has impacted. It would have to be my most random and worst job, like both the same, was working on a ship. I worked on the Q2 for 3 months, and the idea was we were going to go on the ship and we were going to make money to then travel. And then we got on the ship, and apart from the fact it was horrendous, well, it was a good laugh. I met nice people. It was good camaraderie, but the job itself was just, work like you've never worked in your life before.
What were you doing?
Waitressing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and it was just, it was. You never got a day off in the 3 months.
Oof.
And it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, afternoon tea. It was just crazy. Some time off was that you only had to do breakfast and dinner, you didn't have to do lunch. So you'd be in like Barbados and you'd be peering out the window.
Oh,
and you couldn't go
torture.
and do it. Oh yeah. So random and not great. And then we sort of realised you don't get paid for your month off. It's like 3-month contracts. So you do your 3 months, you don't get paid for the month off. So then you spend all your money to then go back on for another 3 months.
They got it sus, don't they?
Yeah. Fortunately, something in me got me off the treadmill the first time.
Yeah.
And I just kind of took the money and travelled for 8 months.
Oh, nice.
With that money, which was great. And I did a little bit of picking banana type jobs, but nothing, a little bit of waitressing, but nothing very much in that 8 months. So it basically funded that trip.
And did it teach you though that like actually this is the kind of work I don't want to be doing because I have no freedom whatsoever?
Yes, it probably did.
Yeah, I find these like bad experiences are just as informative, if not more, than the good ones quite often.
Yes, exactly. I was like, I do not want to work to this extent, because there were a lot of people that loved it. You know, they came back. They were on for like 3 years. A really good friend of mine was on for about 3 years, and I was like,
yeah,
what do you see here? Like, what everyone's different.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Everyone is different.
But I was off that ship as quick as I could.
Metaphorically and physically
and
speaking.
physically, I can still remember walking down the gangplank. I got off in LA because it was doing a round the world thing. Got on in Southampton, got off in LA, and I got on a plane to come home, and I literally slept the entire way home.
That's
like,
good. It's a long
really,
time to fly.
Yeah, uncomfortable seat. I was just like,
gosh.
So yeah.
How about the biggest risk you've ever taken to date?
I think the biggest risk was probably giving up my job, my kind of, in inverted commas, proper job in events to become a dog walker. Because, I mean, my mum was like,
what?
A dog walker? Because back then, because I'm quite old, back then there was like literally 3 dog walkers in Edinburgh, and nobody had a van. Or like one person had a van.
I can imagine. I mean, it's such a big booming industry now, but back then, was it much of a thing?
No, it really wasn't. I remember getting my van, and at the time my company was called Follow My Lead, and it had me and little dogs on the van and all that. And I can remember driving around Edinburgh, and literally people would stop and go, look at it, as if to say, what's that? What are they doing? And my mum was just like, that's not even a job. Don't be ridiculous.
I bet you're quite busy to start off with, no?
Yeah.
Like instantly, because it wasn't a...
Yeah, I was. Fortunately, the whole reason I got into it was because my dog, I was working at Prestonfield, and my dog needed a dog walker because she had separation anxiety, which also ties into the dog behaviour stuff. And the girl who was my dog walker is now a really good friend, and she said to me, I remember her saying, well, you know, if you don't like your job, if you cover the centre of town, because I don't really like driving around the centre of town because it's a pain to park, then I could give you all my inquiries for the centre of town. So yeah, literally within 6 months I was on the same money that I'd been on.
Really?
Yeah, at Prestonfield as an events manager.
That's amazing.
So it was a big risk at the time, but it totally paid off.
And you didn't look back since.
And I didn't look back. No, I haven't been back to events.
I bet you haven't. Well, what are you working on next? I know you've got this course. Have you had a course before, online course before? This is phase 2, did you say?
So the Peaceful Paws online course
That's been going a while.
That's been going a couple of years. I had a few different ones, basically testing out what I liked. So they were in different kind of forms. But yeah, Peaceful Paws is, as far as I know, right here, right now, here to stay. Cool. Very happy with it. Very happy with all the clients and the community we've established. It's just amazing. Love it. So that's here to stay. The book getting published, that's kind of work in progress. And the school is, that's kind of probably my, I guess, newest thing that I'm working on at the moment.
And how do you maintain kind of that priority to your time and freedom with all these projects spinning around as well? Do you manage it? And how do you manage it?
Yeah, mostly these days I manage it, and I would say that I have learned in the last few years that the way to make it work is to just keep following the bits I want to do. I just don't, I have very little tolerance for stuff that I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
And I just don't do it. And even now, like, I'm like, oh my God. But it works. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really, really works consistently. And I do quite a lot of, to remind me of that fact, I do quite a lot of deepening my own grounding in the 3 principles, which is the thing that I coach in, like that's kind of primarily coaching humans.
I was going to say, is that a human coaching thing?
That's a human coaching
And
thing.
what are the 3 principles?
I will say them, they will mean nothing to you.
Okay, fine.
Mind, thought and consciousness.
Okay.
And it's essentially understanding who we truly are and why we're here. And
how long have you been doing that?
I qualified in that in 2020, literally just before COVID.
Okay.
hit. So it was April 2020, well, just after,
Yeah. And was that a kind of natural progression to the work that you're doing with dogs, or how does that come about?
So that came about for my own personal sanity,
Okay.
let's say.
Yeah.
So when I was completely burnt out, I kind of literally stumbled across it on Facebook and was like, oh, this makes sense. You know what, like I'd done a lot of the kind of more traditional like CBT and all that kind of stuff, and it worked to a degree, but because I was so overwhelmed and so stressed and so burnt out, the idea of doing anything more was like, no, I can't, no, I have zero space for that. And this was all about doing less, taking things off your to-do list. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I went on to do a training and did like 70 hours of coaching, kind of monitored. And now I primarily, I sort of tie it in. It's basically in Peaceful Paws.
It is.
Do you know?
Interesting,
So
yeah.
it's helping the people make the changes they want to make to help their dog. So that's where it sort of comes into its own in my job.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I find my mind is like thinking about my dog, and because she's been naughty lately, but I have also, she's been annoying me a lot, and so I think part of it is me. But I don't want to think about that too much.
Yes.
It's much easier to blame the dog.
You've hit the nail on the head. You've hit the nail on the head.
I will
because
think
people,
about that more.
Yeah, people don't want to like look in the mirror. Of course, why would we want to? It's much easier to blame the dog, or blame its breed, or blame the fact that it's rescue. Like, we've got a whole host of things we can blame.
We're so intertwined, aren't we?
So intertwined.
Which makes sense why you're kind of doing both those elements, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Burnout. I want to talk about burnout a little bit, because you're not the only one, obviously, we've spoken to, and obviously I have friends and colleagues and things that have also gone through burnout, but I think it means different things to different people. So I'm curious to hear what it was for you, like how you think you got to that space, and how would you describe your burnout?
Well, the first thing is I didn't know it was burnout.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea what was happening. I kind of understood I was overwhelmed, kinda, but not really. I thought that the irony of the whole thing is that I thought that it was everything going on outside of me. I thought it was my annoying husband. I thought it was my annoying children. I love them dearly.
Of course you do.
I thought it was my, annoying life, basically. I thought it was like work related. Maybe something's going on here. And what I ultimately found out was it was nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah.
And it was all like what we talked about in the beginning. It was this inside pressure that I was putting on myself. Like, nobody else was doing it. Like, my kids were brilliant. My husband is brilliant. And it's like, it was all in my head, essentially. But not in a oh, I'm gonna beat myself up for being stupid kind of thing. That's not really helpful. But just understanding that we create our own reality based on what's going on in our head. And so, yeah, I didn't like what I was creating. So as soon as I saw that, I basically got help to help me create something different. Which is essentially what's happened. And the irony of it is that I am now way busier than I was then. At the time with my work, I was literally doing one-to-one consultations with people in person. That was it. I never did any marketing. It was all word of mouth, and I just went to see people, and that was all I did. And now I've got, you know, when I say it out loud, quite a few different things going on. Yeah, I feel so calm and so at peace with what's happening.
Yeah.
So for me, it was understanding that. And I think what the 3 principles did for me was took me from trying to control all of the outside things and trying to control my thinking, trying to control everything, and realizing that the answer wasn't in controlling, it was letting go. It was literally letting go.
Hard, and it means different things to different people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny though how your mind affects your body so much, like with fatigue? I don't know what you experience, but like
oh well, I experienced
anxiety,
panic attacks. I went to the sort of, you know, hyper level, let's say. Like I had so much adrenaline, so much cortisol flowing through my body that I just couldn't ever settle. Do you know, I couldn't settle to anything really. You know, I could barely read a book at that point. Yeah. Even the trashy novels was becoming a struggle, which was a bit of a red flag. I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I really see that with the dogs, is that most of the dogs that come to see me, it's because we're overstimulating them. We're overdoing things with them. And so they have like, you know, adrenaline pumping through their body all the time. And people will say to me, you know, my dog's like can't settle, it's hypervigilant, it's, you know, it's constantly on high alert. And I'm like, yeah, I can relate to that. And it's kind of like the world conspired to give me that, to show me that's what's happening with these dogs. You know, help people to see that, help people to see that they need to just do less with their dogs
instead of more. Yeah. I feel like I can ask this because we're of similar age, but was it hormonal related, this period of your life?
Well, that's the $1 million question. I never messed with my hormones. I haven't taken any HRT. I haven't taken anything. And it's changed. So
okay, interesting. Yeah.
Was it hormones or was it not?
Well, the point is that you're in a good space and you've managed it and you've done the things that you need to do for yourself.
Yeah.
To get to the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like I'm at the other side, actually. Interestingly, I had to ask someone the other day, how old am I again? I've got a friend that's got the same birthday and we're exactly the same age. 52. So whether I'm at the other side of that, who knows? But for me, it just doesn't hold that much interest. It's just a little bit like, I used to get really annoyed. People would be like, oh, it's your hormones. I'm like, well, that's really not helpful.
Yeah, it's not helping me. Yeah.
It's not helpful.
Yeah.
Like, give me something else.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm not really that interested in kind of that whole conversation, I guess, because I'm like, might be, might not be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't look to me that there's a solution there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, it's a natural thing. It's what our body's designed to do. We're supposed to go through the menopause. Our hormones are supposed to move up and down. So therefore, I don't see a big,
Yeah, well, we're all different as well and experience these things differently.
Exactly.
There isn't one solution for everybody, that's for sure.
100% not one solution. And there's never meant to be. Like, that's the point, isn't it? Yeah. So for me personally, I honestly have no idea.
Fair enough. 2 more questions. One, when is your book meant to be out? Do you have a deadline?
That's the $1 million question. Okay. No, I do not have a deadline.
See how it goes.
But literally the next, I'll have to do this formatting piece, and that will go in at the end of this week.
Is this your second book, though?
No.
First book. Okay. I thought you had another one for some
No, reason. I wish I did, because then I might have some clue as to what I'm doing. I do have someone helping me, but yeah, it's...
But remember, you're not supposed to know what you're doing if you've never done it before.
Thank you, Dani. Mm-hmm. That is what I need to hear.
Yes, it is.
So I'm just like, just do this bit and the rest will become clear.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't really know, but I'm like, it will be in the next couple of months for sure.
Nice.
I know.
That's exciting.
I know that. Yeah.
Cool accomplishment to have as well at the other side of that, all that learning.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how the writing of it was really easy. It's all the other bits that need to be done. I'm like, formatting, what's that all about? Get someone to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone is helping me with that, but I guess I need to tell them kind of what I want, but I don't really know what I want, so I'm kind of like, make it look pretty.
Yeah. As long as the information's correct. Like,
exactly.
And how you want it to be.
Yeah, exactly, which it is, like it's there, it's all, it's fine.
Well, I think most people find that bit the hardest bit, so
I know.
I think that's a good way to have it. If you're going to not know something, I would not want to know the formatting rather than the content.
Yeah, rather than the content. The content was easy.
So
that was
go.
like 18 years worth of brain dump put into like some semblance of order.
Exactly. So remember that when you're giving yourself a hard time about not knowing about formatting.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
So tell us a time where you experienced a state of flow or had a sense of awe.
So I feel really blessed that I get a sense of flow from my work. So whenever I'm on a coaching call with someone, or like Peaceful Paws on a Friday lunchtime, I've got a book group on the go at the moment that we meet on a Tuesday lunchtime, and whenever I'm there, like right now is a state of flow. This is a state of flow for me. It feels like I don't have much thinking about it. It just comes naturally. It's most of the work that I do now, not when I do my tax return, but generally most of the work that I do now gives me that state of flow. So so that's my state of flow. And when I get in the sea.
And the sea.
And the sea.
Do you think that started, there was a formula for that, or is it just this approach of yours that you are not putting pressure on yourself and you're letting things happen and you go to the things that you do enjoy? Do you think that's the formula for flow?
For me, you've just nailed it. For me, it's even more simple, is just do the things you want to do and don't do the things you don't want to do. And ignore the noise in your head that will have a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
Do you know, the voices in your head will be like, what? You need to work hard. You need to sit at a desk. You need to do this. Or is that just my head? Yeah.
I think that's a lot of people's head.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people would argue with that quite well, and with the kind of thinking that they have to for one reason or another, because you can easily back that up.
100%. You can find evidence. Like, we are very good. Humans are very good at finding evidence to the contrary. 100%.
And to be fair, some people don't know what they want to do.
Well, there's your starting point.
Yeah.
And actually, if I'm really honest, when I was burnt out, coming out of that, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea what I liked, what I didn't like anymore. I was so numb to life that I just didn't know what I want. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like day to day, if I'm really honest, when it came to my family, who I love dearly, at one point I was like, I just want to go and live on a desert island on my own, because I had no space in my brain, no capacity to have a relationship with anyone. Yeah. And now when I look back, it's probably because I had no relationship with myself. And that's where I started. And I didn't know I was doing that, but I was kind of forced into it, because I was like, well, what's happening here? What's going on? I think you've hit the nail on the head. Start with at least doing a bit of research into what you actually want to do. How do you actually want to spend your day? And as best you can, don't listen to the noise in your head, because that's not helpful. And it takes time, right? It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen. Where are we now? This is 2025, and I acknowledged my burnout in 2018. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this is, it doesn't happen overnight. And when you think about how long I was building up to that, that I didn't know what was happening. I was just in a state of not flow, let's say, whoa, panicking all the time. yeah, it takes time. 100% takes time.
I didn't realize it was that long, but I think that's an important piece, because people quite quickly will go back to their norm, even though the norm isn't necessarily good or comfortable, but it's comfortable because it's what they're used to.
This is what you know, yeah, of course.
But yeah, that kind of perseverance of like, I've got to get this right for myself.
Yeah, I've got to. I just knew deep down, and everybody knows deep down. If anyone's listening to this in that state, like, you know that you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You just can't see a way out.
Yes.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, that's why I was in that state up until 2018. Like, for so long. Like, I don't even know how long it was, but it was a good years, you know, a good 5, 6, 7 years. Probably maybe started with the death of my mom, you know, that kind of thing, something like that, just, you know, caused a spiraling of things.
Yeah. Perspective, I think sometimes those big incidents happen and your perspective just changes and it rocks everything.
Yeah, it was like my mom died and my kids were very young at that time, so you don't have capacity, you don't have headspace. You've got to just get through the day, you know, get the kids to nursery, do things, pay the bills, do, you know, whatever. So yeah, it takes time.
I think about how we're changing retirement narrative a lot lately. Do you have a plan for like work past the kind of normal retirement age, or do you have a plan for, I don't like the word retirement, but I haven't found a better word for it, but do you have a plan for the kind of your future?
Do you know, it's really interesting you asked that question, because the short answer is no. But just at the end of last year, just before Christmas, I was chatting to some friends and I was like, do you know what? I think what I want retirement to look like is right now.
Yeah. Like,
I feel like if I could kind of lean into that and just go, this is it. This is as good as it gets right now. I am retired. And therefore, it's almost like a permission slip to do exactly what I want to do.
Yep.
In my business, in my life, with whatever. And it sort of takes away this whole, oh, well, in 10 years I can do this, or in 5 years I can do this.
Start living in after retirement. It's like, well, that's not how it works, though, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My mum died very young. You know, she was 65. She was ill for a few years before that. You know, I'm like, wait, no, I am not waiting for that. So I guess in my head, I'm leaning into, this is quite new for me, but I'm leaning into, yeah, I'm retired.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. I like that. I haven't actually thought of it quite like that.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. I'd rather do what I'm doing now for longer, as long as I can, and not like have the sprint to this finish line and then fall off a cliff.
Exactly.
When you're too old to do the things that you want to do.
Exactly. And health-wise,
yeah.
You know, you don't know how you're going to feel health-wise.
True.
In 10 years' time.
True.
Or even 5 years'
True.
time. So like right now, if I want to travel, which is my raison d'etre, let's say, I'm like, I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting till then. So
I like this new shift. I think more and more people are thinking like that, and this old, I guess we're also not working in a job for 30 years very often, you know, 35, 40 years. Most people have lots of different kinds of jobs or do different things throughout their life.
Yeah.
So it's maybe easier to like have a shift rather than, you know, have this 40 years of doing the same thing and then can't wait to stop.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what the hell you're doing with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Love it. Good. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Good luck with all your projects.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Cheers. To show your support, please like and subscribe to this podcast. If you'd like to learn more and stay connected to Tribe Porty and Working for Progress, please visit tribeporty.org. There you can subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where we share monthly blogs offering insights into how we craft our working lives. This has been Working for Progress. We hope you join us again.